Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. As I always do, I'm going to start off with the indice charts, and today, of course, it's going to be the Dow chart, which looks really topped out here. And, you know, welcome to the summer doldrums. If you do not know what the summer doldrums, if this is your first year trading, this is the period of the year. Typically starts in mid-August, can last 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes more, where everything essentially goes to sleep. People go on vacation, the volumes dry up. Does not mean that there's no action out there. It's just that things get very, very difficult and shorts get very, very bold. You oftentimes see no real support out there. So when any kind of volume comes in, especially the stupid market sell volume we tend to see these days, moves to the downside get over exaggerated. Now, if you're sitting here knowing what you own and knowing what a stock does, it can be very opportunistic for you grabbing those stupid dips that you see out there. But this is a time of the year where most of the time when I look at my trading notes, I have sleepy market, half days, at least for the next couple of weeks, tends to be what happens this time of the year. Now, nothing is always certain. Things can always change year to year, but that is why when I enter this period of the market, I make sure I am high cash. That's just what I do every year. The stocks that I own as a swing, I go through that list and I go, okay, I'm okay seeing these stocks lower. I know what the market's going to do. I am perfectly fine seeing those stocks lower. When there's a position I look at that I'm swinging and I go, you know what, I'll be really mad if this one goes lower. That's usually an indication to me to A, reduce my position, or B, get out. Doesn't mean I can't rebuy it, but that is how I approach what periods I think are going to be sleeper markets. You can see here on the Dow, it's just, you know, inching up, looking kind of tired. If you look over here at the Qs as well, looking very tired. I would say the Dow chart here is like a car going up a mountain road with no gas left in the car and is trying to get to the top and is pretty soon gonna start going backwards. That is the way I would look at this market. Qs, same thing, sideways pattern. We're starting to see a lot of the boring Dow stocks. I mean, if you look at the indices, oh, we're up every single day, but that's because they're pushing up one or two of the large cap stocks that actually impact the indices where most stocks are dead. Volume is gone. This is typical for this time of the year. If we look at the small cap index, you know, sideways pattern as well, you know, really dead action. Sleeper, large cap, mega cap stocks are up, and it also didn't help that cryptos put in a big move this last week. That also sucks out a lot of the speculative money out of stocks. DOGE, which ended up being a very nice trade, not bad for a week, 20 cents to almost 32 cents there late yesterday. 60% in a week, not too bad. When I talked about the video last week, I was talking about LITECOIN heading up towards that 200-day moving average up at the 190 area. We got as high as 187 yesterday. Not too bad. $35, $37 pop in the last few days. But again, these charts are also looking like they want to pause. And when you see that kind of action out there and you see the frustrating action we saw this past week, that is always an indication to me to step back. Now, we have seen some big reports, and I'm actually going to skip a chart here. Stocks are not acting correctly. And what I mean by that, look at SYPR, SYPR. That, in my opinion, was an absolutely monster earnings report. Big swing around to big profits, big growth, backlog up, profits zooming. Everything is firing on all cylinders for this company, and they've got the space aspect as well. And what did this stock do? Went up and went down as essentially flat from where it was on this earning report. Yet every day we see these garbage truck low floats getting pushed in pre-market and after hours. No real news, just getting quotation marks pushed and then leaving lots of scanner chasers high and dry, and they're going, what the heck just happened out there? And that volume's going and starting to sit on their hands because they keep getting trapped in the garbage that's running, and we see quality plays with monster reports doing nothing. Volume not even there. SBET. This past week has seen DraftKings and Penn National go on major buying sprees. The sports betting market is on the cusp of blowing up, in my opinion. And by blowing up, I mean it's about to get big. Not that it's not big now, but more and more states are rolling out sports betting. More and more countries are starting to roll out sports betting. And there's a big consolidation going on. And here we have a low float sports betting stock that couldn't even get over $7. We didn't even get the volume this week. On a normal market, when DraftKings and when Penn National had that kind of news, this is a stock that I could easily have seen trading over $10 on multiple millions of shares traded. Cricket volume. That is why you see these slow bleeds on a lot of these stocks. Until the volume comes in, these shorts who are probably digging their own graves will press their bets. Traders who get tired of holding stocks will send market orders. There's no bid support out there, and that's what you see on these types of stock. SBET, deep oversold. This is now currently my largest swing play. I am perfectly fine sitting on this one, and I will continue to add if they give me opportunities. This is why I always mention that when I have a swing, I always leave room to add more to my swing positions. I don't go into my full swing in the first, second, third adds. I always give myself an opportunity to add more. Remember, this is a high cash market. This is a market, as I've continued to say over the last number of weeks, I want to be 80 to 90% cash. Plain and simple. I can ride out this storm in the swings that I like. This stock, insane that it's sitting down here. SPRT, this is another example. What happened on SPRT this past week? Well, crypto was up, but really what happened was shorts got squeezed. As we know, huge short interest here, and they blew this puppy up. So eventually, in my eyes, when they decide to squeeze this silly short that continues to cap this stock out here, we're going to see a move like we have seen on SPRT. Remember this stock when no one wanted to touch this stock, and it traded very, very poorly in the $4 zone, and they were chasing this at $11 on Friday. Just saying. Similar setup here, in my opinion, on SBET. We don't want to buy this one down here. Oh my God, it's $10. Who knew? That's what I see on the horizon for this one. Now, speaking of short squeezes, now that sport has squeezed big, according to Finviz, this is now the highest short interest stock under $10. Nice consolidation here. It's just trading in this triangle. Breakout, probably going to take a break at 350 to really 350, 375 is where you might see the shorts starting to throw the towel in on this one. Nice support range here. It just keeps ranging every day. So it's one of those stocks. It's just a matter of waiting for the breakout move. Positive MACD cross coming. I'm okay sitting on this one. UAMY, patience play. All the news is out there. You guys know it. I don't need to harp on it much. It's just a matter of sitting and waiting on this puppy. Now this goes back to the thing where I'm talking about scanner chasers are really all over this market right now, and that's all over this market. Big move up, came all the way back down, was a nice, this is the 1 hour chart, nice pullback to the 420 area, which is where I added some shares. A couple hours later, they're chasing it at 479. Easy money. A couple of hours later, panic sellers again. Oh my God, down under 4. Friday, yep, chasing up there 450. So as long as these stocks continue to act like ATMs, this is how I go about making my swing positions, quotation marks, free positions. You take advantage of these nonsense selling and scanner chasing, and that's just essentially the market right now. INUV, quick mention on this one, great earnings report. Google is the company they were talking about with the massive revenue increase. This is a penny stock with Google, and it's sitting down here. Just another indication of how slow and dead this market. Speaking of slow and dead markets, ELTK. Oh, geez. ELTK should have earnings coming up in the next few days. But the reason I bring this up is extremely low float stock. Profitable. Last quarter did $7+ million in revenue. Cash flow positive. Net profit sitting here. Then we have MOSY Nissan. MOSY. $1 million. That's it. That's all they posted. They've got a massive shelf sitting out there. and this stock is trading higher than ELTK. That is just another one of these insane disconnects that you see in the market. Now, the problem with disconnects is you can be dead on right on your research and your due diligence, but you got to be patient. Unless the market wants a stock to move, that stock's not going to move. So you got to know, even though you're sitting and waiting on a stock like I'm sitting and waiting on this one, you know, sometimes I'm ahead of the market, and I got to realize that. Hopefully this next earnings report should set this one free. RMED, another low float stock. This is, I believe, a Wainwright stock with a offering sitting out there. These guys like to jam stocks up before they drop them. Now, they can't really do it with earnings tomorrow after hours, so I would suspect with this chart here, we could see a very nice day on this one tomorrow. The break would be, scanners will come chasing on this one, I would say 20-day EMA, 349, 50 break. Could possibly see a spike up to the 4 to 450 area. So this is going to be a low float watch for me tomorrow into the after hours report. INDP, NTEC, as you know, microfloat, it's got news coming. Volume is dried up, which means they're just able to walk it down. But as we know on these stocks, all it takes is one little scanner coming in, and they have no problem chasing these stocks up 100%. So when I see these slow bleeds on my swings, I'm repeating myself yet again just to hammer that point home. I'm okay seeing it down here. When the time is right, I have room to add more. When I see that curl and turn, I'll go in. I like this stock. This is a stock I'd be very, very mad at myself if I was not in when the couple of expected pieces of news I think are coming didn't come. If I was out and was up here, I'd be mad. That's another indication I use to tell me that I need to have some shares in the stock. Little sector switch here. You know, we continue to see Delta variant news all over the place, and then the new variant coming down the road, and ICUs getting packed. I still believe these virus stocks are ready to move. TLSA, we're expecting news per the company, you know, any day. It's just slowly bled on low volume, but one press release, as we know, and this could be up here. OGEN, very, very big Delta variant news up at 115. Slow bleed all the way back down. I'm back in this one. Added back my swing here. Let's see if we get another press release so the scanners can chase it up 50% as they love to do. ADMP, news expected as well, and overdue in my opinion on their COVID Delta drug. As we know, pre-market news on this one, they'll have no problem chasing it up here. So I have no problem sitting in some shares and waiting. Beaten up charts, as you can see, will bounce. This is Waiter Holdings, food delivery company. They've actually rotated to being a fintech stock, and that was the reason they used to sell this stock off. They ran from the hills, and then on Friday they were chasing it at 128. That was a quick 20% bounce move on this one. 20-day is still up there at 151. If I was looking to pick up shares, probably around the 110 area, I would look to add to my swing on this one. You know, these kind of big moves, 20% in a day, you book some gains, comes back down again, you're in a great position, $1 stops. That's how I trade it. And like I said on the chart, deeply oversold. Now, the last stock I want to talk about, because if I didn't, there'd be riots in the streets. SNMP. Again, you could use this term. The question is going to be, why is X down? Why is Z down? Well, I just went over it. This market sucks right now. There's no volume out there. People are running for the hills, and stocks are falling easy. But look at this one. A few days ago, Chasers at 193. Running from the hills at 115. Now, this is the 1 hour chart. This is ridiculously oversold right now. Stochastics, look at that. Living in the basement now. Won't stay there for long, I don't think. Actually, looking at this one, I'm probably going to be looking to add to my swing here tomorrow morning, but that's just how I'm going to view it. So that's it for the video, guys. Remember, this is a slow market. I like to take a lot of half days this time of the year. I'm not the only one. This is always how the market has been in August. Now, that's not to mean there are not opportunities out there. You just have to have cash and be ready to pounce. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.